children. How are you children? I hope you are doing well. So let us continue the previous topic, that is our environment. So today we will discuss about the food chain and food web. Now let us see what is meant by food chain. So food chain is a series of organisms taking part at various biotic level from the producer and ends in consumer. So again I will repeat the definition. Listen properly. Food chain is a series of organisms taking part at various biotic level from the producer and ends in consumer. So when we are talking about the food chain, so naturally the next term will come, that is trophic levels. So trophic level means they are the various steps in the food chain where transfer of food or energy takes place. So again I will repeat the definition of trophic levels. Trophic levels are the various steps in the food chain where transfer of food or energy takes place. So in the food chain, the autotroph or producers, so you can see here children, autotrophs or producers are the first trophic level. Then the herbivores or primary consumers are the second trophic level. Then the carnivores or the secondary consumer are known as the third trophic level, and the large carnivores or top carnivores, or it is also known as tertiary consumers, will occupy the place of the fourth trophic level. So again I will repeat children. The first trophic level are autotrophs. Second trophic levels are herbivores. Third trophic levels are carnivores, and the fourth level is top carnivores. Now you have to see the meaning of the autotrophs. Autotrophs are known as the producers. So why they are known as the producers? Because, and who are the autotrophs? Autotrophs are generally the green plants. So green plants are known as producers, or green plants are known as autotrophs because green plants prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll. So with the help of sunlight they are preparing their own food, therefore the process is known as photosynthesis. The sunlight energy is converted into chemical energy and the food is stored in the plant body, and this food is eaten by, or it will be stored for other higher group of organisms, that is herbivores and carnivores. So this sunlight energy, when it is converted into chemical energy, so this energy will be utilized by other organisms, and this energy is transferred to the other organism. This energy supports all the activities of the living world. From autotrophs, the energy is transferred to the heterotrophs as well as it is transferred to the decomposers. Now children, let us see the next topic. It is about 10% law. So the green plants capture 1% of the energy of sunlight that falls on their leaves and convert it into food energy. When green plants are eaten by herbivores, a great deal of energy is lost in the form of heat to the environment. But some amount of energy goes into digestion and in doing work, and the rest goes towards growth and reproduction, and the remaining is only an average of 10% of the food eaten that is turned into its own body and then made available for the next level of consumer. Therefore, 10% law can be taken as the average value for the amount of organic matter that is present at each step and reaches to the next level of consumer. So there is only 10% flow of energy from first trophic level to the next trophic level. So the loss of energy at each step is so great that very little usable energy remains after 4 or 5 trophic levels. So only 4 or 5 trophic levels are present in each food chain. Now let us see about the food web. So in a food web, each organism is generally eaten by 2 or more kinds of organisms, which in turn are eaten by several other organisms. So a food web is a complex network of many interconnected food chains and feeding relationship. Now you can see there are many examples in the environment. So one example I will tell you. For example, grass. So grass is eaten by insect. Insect is eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by snake. Snake is eaten by birds like peacock, and this peacock is eaten by tiger. So this is one food chain. Now how the food web is created? Now grass, it is eaten by the deer, and the deer is eaten by the lion or tiger. So here grass is one, then deer came, then tiger. So tiger is consuming their peacock, there it is consuming the deer. So in this way it is known as a food web. Flow of energy is unidirectional. Now let us see about this flow of energy. How it is going in one direction. How it is moving only in one direction. The energy that is captured by the autotroph does not revert back to the solar input. And the energy which passes to the herbivores, it will not come back to the autotrophs. Same way, the herbivores will pass on the energy to the carnivores, but the carnivores cannot return back the energy to the herbivores. So herbivores cannot return to autotrophs. Same way, carnivores will pass on the energy to the top carnivores, but top carnivores animals cannot transfer back the energy to the carnivores. So the energy is flowing only in one direction. It is not coming back to the various trophic level. So it is no longer available to the previous level. Now let us discuss about biological magnification. A large number of pesticides and chemicals are used to protect our crops from pests and diseases. Some of these chemicals are washed down into the soil, while some enter into the water bodies. From the soils, chemicals and pesticides are absorbed by plants along with water and minerals. But what about water bodies? Aquatic plants and animals absorb chemicals from water bodies. So this is how these chemicals enter into the food chain, because these chemicals cannot decompose. They accumulate progressively at each trophic level. As the food chain proceeds, the concentration of pesticides also increases. This increase of concentration of harmful chemicals with each step of the food chain is called biological magnification. Now, as human beings occupy the top level in any food chain, these chemicals get accumulated in our bodies. So, even food grains like wheat, rice, fruit, vegetables and meat are contaminated with the pesticide residues. So, this was all about the biological magnification, children. Now, let us see the significance of the food chain. So, what does the significance of food chain tell us? It helps in understanding the food relationship and interaction among various organisms in our ecosystem. Second point is, it helps us to transfer food energy and nutrients through various components of nature. Third point is, it helps us to understand the movement of toxic substances in an ecosystem and the problem of their biological magnification. So children, today what we have discussed? We have discussed about food chain, trophic levels, food web, 10% law, how the energy flows in one direction, and last we have discussed about biological magnification and significance of food chain. So I hope you have noted down all the points, and children, please copy down all the definitions in your notebook neatly and correctly. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you children.